Right now on 5 on your side at 10.
Less humid tomorrow. The heat returns Monday, but it won't be sticking around.
Amid record inflation, some states hand out stimulus checks. Our Verified team explains who's getting one. Protests in St. Louis and across the nation after a black man is killed by police. The change they want to see.
Thank you for joining us. I'm Sarah Maki. Brent Solomon has the night off. Protesters gathered in solidarity tonight and marched the streets of downtown St. Louis over the murder of JAYLAND Walker. Walker was a 25-year-old black man who was shot and killed by police in Akron, Ohio last month. He was shot 90 times by 8 different officers. Now people across the country are protesting and demanding change. 5 on your sides. Mercedes McKay was at the protest tonight in St. Louis and joins us with that group's main message. Mercedes.
Sarah, the organizer told me their main message of tonight was to wake people up to what's going on in our country right now. He emphasized that it's not all about making their voices heard, but reminding people that they have the power to make a change.
We're out here to say stop killing us. We're out here to say that Black Lives Matter and that we deserve equity and equality in this country.
In front of the St. Louis Police Headquarters on Saturday night, people came from all over the state to stand in solidarity and express their frustration over what happened more than 500 miles away in Akron, Ohio, less than 2 weeks ago to 25-year-old JAYLAND Walker.
Another black American male has been slain by the police.
J.D. Dixon, director of Empire 13, a grassroots activist organization, describes it as heartbreaking and never-ending.
We know that there's going to be another JAYLAND Walker here soon. And that's why we're out here. We're out here because we have to affect that policy reform because we know it's going to happen again.
The group marched from police headquarters to the Enterprise Center,
Say his name, JAYLAND Walker.
making their voices heard from Olive Street to Clark Avenue.
Out of your cars and into the streets. Out of your cars and into the streets.
But Dixon emphasized the work doesn't stop when their feet do.
If all we're doing is marching and not affecting those policies, then when we're done marching, those policies are still in place and there's going to be another police killing.
Activists voice the only way to really bring change is to affect laws and policies, but they can do it on their own.
And what I want people to see is really open their hearts up and open their minds up to see that it's going to take all of us. It's going to take all of us to come together and really bring change and be the change.
Dixon says it's not all about voting for that change, but running for office to be in those chairs and actually make the change. Sarah?
Thanks, Mercedes. Meanwhile, protests continue over abortion access as well. Today, demonstrators gathering outside the White House for abortion rights. People gathered outside the Franklin Square before marching toward the White House for a sit-in. Now, this comes 2 weeks after the Supreme Court voted to overturn Roe v. Wade. Yesterday, President Biden, he signed an executive order to protect abortion rights. The Women's March said that the protest is to pressure the president and his administration to declare a national public health emergency on the issue of abortion. There were also more protests in St. Louis. This is what it looked like earlier outside the old courthouse downtown. Several abortion rights activists were there with their signs advocating their support for women's rights. A 2-year-old is still recovering from serious injuries tonight. This after an accident involving street racing. This happened overnight at 20th and St. Louis Avenue. Police say one car ran a stoplight, crashing into the car with the 2-year-old inside. The drivers were also injured. Tonight, the temperatures are pleasant. We enjoyed a break from the heat today, so we're going to turn it over to our meteorologist Jim Castillo with a look at the forecast tonight and going into the rest of the weekend.
Yeah, Sarah, so 83 was the high today. Fantastic out there. Yeah, it started out with the rain, but no severe weather like we had last evening, and about this time last night things were calming down. So we have cleared up nicely. You look around the area from downtown St. Louis to Lambert, right at the airport there, Weldon Spring and Highland, it's clear. Those 24-hour rain totals were impressive. We had that tornado warning around the Vandalia, Illinois area. No touchdown on that, but some power poles did come down and some strong wind gusts. They had over 1.5 inches of rain in some spots there. Also Flora, same thing. Wentzville, not as much rain, about 1/10 of an inch. Chester, Illinois, 3/4 of an inch. In Spanish Lake, 2 inches of rainfall. So it's clear tonight. And we'll talk about the pleasant Sunday coming up in just a few minutes, Sarah.
Thanks, Jim. Well, a huge sinkhole opened up in East St. Louis, causing major damage to a roadway. That hole was so big, it took this car down with it. But luckily, nobody was hurt. Now, according to Illinois American Water, the sinkhole was caused by a water main break under the street. Darius Edwards recalls the scary moment that his car went down.
It traumatized my fiance, and it kind of ruined our 4th of July. But I mean, things happen, but it's a shame that, stuff like that can happen because anyone could be hurt.
With the vehicle
Community groups returned to the site today to demand change to the city's infrastructure. Illinois American Water is responsible for the city's water system. They have not said how they will move forward. Inflation, it's taken a bite out of household budgets, but some social media users claim rebate checks are on the way. Brandon Lewis from our Verify team looks into whether some Americans could soon get some relief in direct relief payments.
During the pandemic, the federal government sent Americans 3 stimulus checks, and the Biden administration remains adamant a 4th stimulus is not on the way. Now, some social media users say California is sending its residents stimulus checks, this time for inflation, with some wondering, what about those who live in the other 49 states? So let's verify. Are some states sending out inflation relief checks? Our sources are California Governor Gavin Newsom, the California Budget Act of 2022, and the Departments of Revenue, Taxation, and Finance in these 11 states. In 2021, California collected more tax revenue than expected, leading to a historic $97 billion surplus. On June 26th, Newsom announced the state would refund a 1/5 of the surplus back to Californians in the form of an inflation relief package. Families could get more than $1,000 deposited into their accounts, depending on their income, and California isn't alone. Georgia announced in May that it would also issue a one-time tax refund while citing the high cost of inflation. Other states soon followed, and to date, 12 states have announced they're refunding money back to taxpayers, with many branding the refund as a way to help families with the cost of inflation. So, yes, some states are sending out inflation relief checks that are coming from tax surpluses. How much money and when the money will arrive depends on the policy for residents of the 12 states who are issuing the payment. So you'll want to check with them for details. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
So here's the drill, and you know it. What would you like us to verify? You can send us an email at verify@ksdk.com.
2 organizations team up to help battle the nation's blood shortage. While investigating a dog euthanized without authorization, our team uncovers a history of problems at a local animal shelter.
A slight cool down and much lower humidity levels Sunday. Expect lots of sunshine in the week ahead with little if any rain chances. Details on temperatures coming up.
Welcome back. Did you roll up your sleeve today? It was one of the nation's largest blood drives right there on your screens in Earth City. KSHE95 teamed up with Impact Life to rock their summer blood drive. This comes during a time where hospitals across the nation are experiencing a blood shortage due to the pandemic, and they are looking for donations.
The summer months are very, very challenging in the blood banking world and for our hospitals. And the main reason for that is people are traveling, the kids are home from school, and the schools are out.
KSHE95 and Impact Life are now providing more than 2,000 donations at locations across the St. Louis region. Everyone who came out to the blood drive got a free t-shirt for their donation. Also earlier today, people lined the streets to celebrate the historic Summer Festival in DUTCHTOWN. Festivities, they included live music, food, drinks, shopping, kids activities, community resources, and more. The promotion committee hosted this event will attract more people to their community.
We want people to come down and visit us, so we try to put on an event that invites people down into our neighborhood.
Summer Vibes is a street festival in the historic DUTCHTOWN Commercial District along Merrimack Street from Michigan Avenue to Louisiana Avenue. This is the event's second year in DUTCHTOWN.
All right, had to show this again. Dylan's photo of that severe thunderstorm that we had last evening around Deloge and also Bonne Terre, knocking down some trees and also tree limbs. Coming up, we'll talk about the clear weather for Sunday and how pleasant that humidity level will be.
Tonight, new testimony and new allegations uncovered by our I-Team about a St. Louis County animal shelter. Last week, we told you about one woman's heartbreak after she said her dog was euthanized without her permission. Now, a former manager tells investigative reporter Paula Vasson that's not the only problem at the facility.
Erin Bulfin says her family's dog was euthanized and then decapitated at a St. Louis animal shelter when the family never gave staff permission. New deposition testimony as part of her lawsuit gives us information about the possible scope of the problem.
I don't know what dogs think or do not think. I do not know. I don't know if they think, oh, I want to live. I do not want to live. I don't think they think that.
That's Dr. Vanessa Duras, director of St. Louis County Animal Care and Control. New court evidence following Erin Bulfin's lawsuit against the shelter over the death of a beloved family dog. Bulfin says her dog Daisy was killed less than an hour after her husband dropped her off as part of a mandatory quarantine. Daisy had bitten their daughter. She says the family never wanted Daisy killed.
I stood in disbelief for what seemed like an eternity, probably only a moment, and went out to my car and called my husband and was just cried.
And she believes her experience back in late 2019 stems from employees here misleading pet owners, partly with knowingly inaccurate forms. New court evidence shows over the last 5 years, at least 1,000 people who brought their pets into this facility may have signed inaccurate forms. Court records show people like Bulfin brought their dogs here specifically because they were involved in bites. Then were told to sign forms that said, no person has been bitten by this animal within the past 10 days. Bulfin also says this box on the form, owner requests euthanasia, was checked by a staff member without the family's permission. Mandy Zatorsky was a manager at the shelter until December 2020.
I noticed that they were doing things that were illegal, and I called them out on it, and they didn't like that I was not okay with what they were doing.
She tells the I-Team she spoke up about animals not being walked, living in filthy conditions, and staff misleading pet owners about euthanasia to keep their reported numbers down.
I was holding them accountable, and I got fired for it.
So she filed this lawsuit against the facility 7 months ago, alleging wrongful termination and retaliation.
I was told numerous times to stop rocking the boat. That happened a lot.
We've been pressing St. Louis County Animal Care and Control for answers. A spokesperson tells us they can't comment on pending litigation. Bulfin says the shelter hasn't taken responsibility, countersuing her husband for signing the form. A judge dismissed that case. For the I-Team, Paula Vasson, 5 on your side.
Switching gears, Ford is expanding its latest recall over fire concerns. The company is recalling more than 100,000 vehicles after reports of 21 fires and at least 1 injury. The recall involves a variety of 2020 and 2022 models. That includes hybrids, Escapes, Mavericks, and Lincoln Corsairs. Ford is also expanding its recall of the 2021 Expedition and the Lincoln Navigators over similar concerns. Owners will start to be notified on Monday, August 8th. The future of Spirit Airlines, it is still up in the air. According to the Wall Street Journal, Spirit has delayed the shareholders' vote from Frontier Group. This is the 3rd time that the airline has delayed that vote. Spirit is now considering merger proposals from both Frontier Group and JetBlue, each offering billions of dollars. As talks continue, that merger will continue to stall until July 15th. Probably a couple of postponements and weather delays this morning, but now should be all clear if people have some travel plans, right, Jim?
Absolutely. You know, last night we had those severe storms around our area. A lot of weather delays at Lambert at that point, and even this morning with that rain coming in, like you were talking about, Sarah. But look at this, cloud cover from Memphis, and this is where the heat is, and of course that low pressure and cold front slamming into that. So this is all that thunderstorm activity that we had last night just shifted to the south and east of us around Atlanta. So there's that low right there. It's away from us now. High pressure is coming in, and these wind barbs are coming in out of the really northeast. So it's a little bit of a breeze. And if you're in a wind sheltered area, you may see some fog tonight, but there's a little bit of a breeze that stays up throughout the night, which could hamper that fog development. So 83 for that high today, 72 for the low, 90 and 71. Are the averages, and of course 5,600 since last night at midnight, and since the month started here just a few days ago in July, we've had over almost 1.25 inches of rainfall at Lambert. Nice. All right, 78 degrees at the moment, humidity at 71%. Dew point is still kind of high at 68. It goes up a little bit at night. So that future cast, watch this, put it into motion. Not much goes on. Sunday we're sunny. Monday we're partly to mostly sunny. And then maybe Tuesday, very early in the morning hours, we may see some shower and thunderstorm activity with another front that comes through here. So Monday we're hot. We're back in the mid to upper 90s. And then we start to get a little bit nicer as we head into midweek again. So the high pressure that kept us hot has moved a little bit to the west. There's a little dip in the jet stream bringing in that less humid air for tomorrow. Monday's a little bit on the hot side, and then we cool back down Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Friday into next weekend, things start to build back into the area. The high shifts right back over us. So it does look hot again, especially Saturday and into Sunday. Not too humid, but definitely the heat will be coming back. So overnight lows tonight, look at these numbers in the 60s. Very nice. Even 67 at Lambert. And tomorrow's high temperatures, look at this, about 87, 88 in St. Louis. Plenty of sunshine, 10-day forecast. There's that hot Monday, 96, and then we had that slight chance of a storm early on Tuesday. And then next weekend, 96, 97. Next Monday, 99.
Woo.
Tuesday, 99. So enjoy this break that we're getting.
Oh, and I will. Don't worry about that. I definitely will. You know what I did not enjoy? Seeing all of the crowds leaving Busch Stadium today.
Yes.
Lots of people pretty sad as they left the Cardinals game.
As they've been the last couple of weeks, because that roster is depleted right now. So when will help be on the way? But we'll discuss that next, coming up in sports. Against teams with a winning percentage over 500, the Cardinals are 19-27. They also happen to lead the National League in time shutout this season with 10 scoreless losses. Needless to say, World Series number 12 is looking like it'll have to wait till 2023 at the moment. At home, taking on the Phillies, Dakota Hudson did what he was supposed to do on the mound. 6 strong innings, no earned runs, and he struck out a couple of guys. That's how you win games. The other way is to score runs, but the Phillies were being stingy today. Matt Vierling with an incredible catch. His CBC cadets will be proud. Still scoreless in the ninth when the Cardinal killer Alec Boehm drives in the only run of the game. The Cardinals, though, they still would have a chance in the bottom of the ninth. Corey Dickerson just activated from the injured list today, but he comes up just short as the Cardinals lose another one, 1-0. Manager Marmol, what's the deal?
They hit the ball hard. It's no different on the other side of it. On the pitching side, missing bats is important. Hitting the ball hard is important. When you look at what we've done over the last several weeks, there's not a lot of hard contact. This game's getting harder and harder to string together quality ABs, so you have to be able to drive the baseball.
The carousel of injuries in the Cardinals clubhouse continues. The good news is Corey Dickerson, he was activated off the IL today, but Tyler O'Neill injured his wrist on a rehab assignment this weekend. Pitching is still a concern with Matz nearing a return, but still no sign of the GOAT Yadier Molina. John Mozeliak says he's currently working out in Puerto Rico.
I think when he comes back, it'll be when he's ready to go out and play baseball. So it would mean probably first step would be a rehab, and then after that assignment, then hopefully back here.
The NHL draft has officially come and gone this weekend. By the end of it, the Blues added 3 forwards and 3 defensemen. More notably, though, they traded goalie Ville Husso to Detroit for the 73rd pick in the 3rd round. Prospect camp also begins on Monday with players like Jake Neighbors taking the ice. Prospects will be divided into 2 teams, Team McKinnis and Team Kachuk, and will participate in daily practices and scrimmages. St. Louis City SC is ramping up its community engagement with the goal of expanding the sport of soccer across all areas, specifically in areas where families may not be able to afford training. Today, City SC hosted soccer one-on-one sessions for boys and girls ages 5 through 12, and Kalia Collier says it's one more step towards bridging gaps.
So we also have our satellite locations, which have launched at Cardinal Ritter, Bayless. We're excited to launch our Ferguson location, and we have 2 more that we'll be announcing within the next month. So this is all about, one, you come to our Soccer 101 session, you have the opportunity to train for the rest of the summer for free, and that gives us the opportunity to build this pipeline of development of kids who are excited about soccer.
The 23-year-old from Kazakhstan faced off against 27-year-old Ange Jabot of Tunisia on Saturday. Oh my God. Oh, sorry, we were tongue-tied on that. Women's Wimbledon in finals. The number 17 seed and Jabu, the number 3 seed, are the first players from their respective countries to feature in a Grand Slam singles final. They rallied from a set down at the start of the match, ending with a 3-6, 6-2, 6-2 victory over Jabu. She was presented with the trophy by the Duchess of Cambridge, Kate Middleton. Sorry about that name. We'll fix that after the show. Now, be sure to join us Sunday for Sports Plus at 10:30. Following the newscast, we're joined by Hall of Fame manager Whitey Herzog, and he does not hold back on what he thinks of this Cardinals team and its chances to win the division. So how bad was that flub on that country there?
Oh, those Wimbledon pronunciations. My mom is watching. She loves Wimbledon. She's going to be the one that emails you tonight.
Don't worry, I'm going to do my homework when I get upstairs.
All right, let's get one more check of weather because it should be nice to end our weekend.
Yeah, now not much in the way of rain, but 88 for Sunday, less humid. It's hot on Monday, maybe a late night storm into early Tuesday. We're pleasant all week, but kind of hot again next weekend.
Well, that does it for 5 on your side at 10. Saturday Night Live is coming up next, and then Tissel Weekend Edition back tomorrow morning starting at 6 a.m.